Hi everybody. Today I would like to share with you my results. So, my results are in linguistic 32, logical mathematical 31, musical 31, body kinesthetic 36, spatial or visual 31, interpersonal 35, and interpersonal likewise. So now that I shared my results with you, I will tell you about my learning style have influenced me in my language learning. So I could say that I have read some English book. I have written um, English text, English essay, English paragraph, in English sentences, and those are styles of learning. So I would like to say that the best way to learn English, that is my opinion and is something that I have lived or is my personal experience with the second language acquisition, and I think that the best way to learn a lot of things of the language is speaking with American people, with Europe people, or with people who speak English, because you can develop in your brain many functions that you maybe don't know. So the best way or the first step that you have to learn a second language, in this case English, is speaking with other people. So that is my learning style. So I have been working in coffee farm with American people, with Melvin too, 5 months ago. So before, I didn't feel comfortable when I had to speak, but now I have been improving my English because I have been practicing with American people, with Melvin who speak English. So it's an interesting aspect that I have learned. I would like to share with you that the best way to learn, and there are many theories or there are many researchers that say that the best way to learn or the best learning style that influence on you is speaking English, is speaking the language that you have or you want to learn. So, for example, um, before I work in that coffee farm, like I mentioned, I didn't feel comfortable when I had to speak, or maybe I didn't have STEM vocabulary. I didn't have knowledge about some aspect of the language. So now that I have been working in the coffee farm with American people, with Melvin, where I have to speak English because my bosses don't speak Spanish, so I have to speak in English. I have to speak English. So that is that was strange at the beginning. That was very difficult because I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't know how to pronounce some English words that maybe there were very difficult for me to pronounce, but now I can pronounce those words. because I have been practicing with those people, with those great people, because well, they are good people and they are good people, they are friendly, and they taught me many aspects of language. So now I have a STEM vocabulary, I have an inner knowledge of the language, I feel comfortable when I have to speak. Oh, sorry, it's my pet. Okay, no. So, for example, before, I couldn't pronounce the word comfortable. Now I can, but I pronounced like comfortable, comfortable, things like that. So it was crazy. It was bad. I was not sure when I had to pronounce words. So now with the practice, I have improved my pronunciation. So I have improved the reading skill, the writing skill, the listening skill, because when my bosses pronounce the words, it's not the same like you write the words. So that is a good strategy that you have to learn. So one strategy that I used or that I did was when they said something, I wrote the word in paper or on my cell phone. Side of the word, I wrote the pronunciation of the word, of course. So I had to remember the word in my mind. Maybe I repeat the word in my mind. I use the word in the conversation, or maybe I practice with the mirror, for example, like that. I look at the mirror. I started to speak English with myself because I had to practice my pronunciation with the mirror. So another thing that I use, that when I had the words in the paper, so I read the word and I use the Google Translator and I say, for example, timeline use picture and keywords. So the Google Translator write the sentences, and if it is to write very well the word, I knew that the pronounce was good. So it was a good step or good strategy that I did. I can say that it's easier to learn reading, writing, listening so is easier than speaking, because when you have to speak you don't feel comfortable. My personal experience was at the beginning when I I was working with in the coffee farm. I didn't feel comfortable. Maybe I was afraid when I had to speak, and that is a mistake that people do or people make. You shouldn't have afraid when you try to speak English, because mistakes are part of our learning. So you can make a lot of mistake. Don't worry about that. You you don't know everything when you are learning about one language, any language. You don't know about that because it's something new for you. So you shouldn't be afraid with that. So it's my tip. It's my tip and it's my personal experience because I have been in that. I have improved my English thanks to that, thanks to practice with uh, American people because I established the goal in my mind. I had to learn English. I had to speak English. So that was my strategy when I started to work in coffee farm. Before I know some aspect of English, of course, I know how to read, how to write, um, how to listen to. So there are aspects like there are aspects that I like. I mentioned that those are easier to learn, but I told you the best way to learn about language is to be or to have relation with the language, and the relation of the language is to speak with other people, to practice with other people. The English, like mathematics, you need to practice because every single day you are able to learn new things and you never learn to you never let to learn. So my tip is that, and for me those are the best strategies that you work like a learner. So another aspect that I would like to mention is which ones are not so productive. Well, maybe the are not so productive is not the phrase that I would like to use. Maybe all things that you try or that you have in mind has a purpose, has a goal. So maybe they are productive. Um, of course, all people is no are not the same way, are not the same learning. They don't have the same learning. So strange. Yeah, it's crazy. But I think that the reading or the writing is not the first thing that you should learn before then speaking. So you need speaking first, and after you can start with those aspects, reading and writing. So when you learn to speak, you learn to listen to, because you need a feedback. You need a feedback because when you are talking with other people, when you are talking, for example, with American people, they are talking to you. You they produce a feedback in your brain. So the practice is the best way to improve your English, to improve your language learning. So you should establish a purpose or goals too, because if you have the opportunity with talk with American people, we talk with people who speak English, you don't have the purpose or you don't have the goals, is for nothing. It's for nothing because you don't have the purpose, you don't have the goals. Maybe you are not attentive with that. So you need to have a purpose or goal when you are learning about new language. So I mean, the reading and writing are important. Yeah, it is. Those are important aspect of the language. In this case, English, of course. Like I mentioned, you don't write the same word like you pronounce the word. No, it's different. But if you if you can speak English, you are able to learn about reading and writing in a best way. So that was my strategy, and that was my personal experience. Of course, there are many people, maybe they learn the language in different way, but there are many studies, there are many researchers that say the same that I am telling you. Uh, so it's everything. That was my experience. That was my way to learn. So now I hope this maybe if it's worth for you. So I hope you achieve your goals, your purpose. Remember, you have to establish your purpose. You have to establish your goals. You will be a great professional in the future if you have clear that in your mind. So thank you so much. I don't have anything to say, so bye.